Hey guys, how you doing? My name is John and welcome to my Star Wars Net 77 show. This episode I want to talk about Hasbro. I did a video a little while back where I posted my frustrations with Hasbro and particularly their distribution issues that they had or lack thereof, as well as their quality of products. I talked about the 12-inch Star Wars figures line that they look like soap bottles, really poor quality. But it's not just Star Wars. I've noticed it with Marvel figures that they have, Spider-Man, same way, Transformers, the G.I. Joe. Their main lines, the quality of their products have really dropped over the years. And I'm a big fan of Hasbro, have been for years. I've been collecting Star Wars figures since I was a kid, but really hardcore since '95 and going back to Kenner when they brought back the new Power of the Force 2 line. And even then you look at those figures and you're like, wow, the quality of those figures were interesting. You have Luke that looks like he's on steroids, same with Lando. But at least then you could find the figures in the stores, where that's not so much the case today. So I want to do a follow-up video to my little rant about Hasbro because, when they announced the Black Series and the Mission Series, I figured, great, we're finally getting new figures in the stores, and Hasbro's come out and apologized for the lack of distribution in stores. So I figured, you know what, maybe Hasbro's getting their act together, and this will be a thing of the past, because to be honest with you, the last 2 years, it's been brutal. As a collector, as a fan of Star Wars items, as a fan of Hasbro products, it's been brutal finding stuff in the stores. Now my wallet certainly likes it because I'm not spending as much money on these products, but certainly my enthusiasm for collecting has dropped significantly because of it. So here we are, and the Black Series has been out for a while. I love the Mission Series as well. When they announced that the Black Series would be more targeted toward the collector, the Mission Series more for the kid, I actually like both series equally, to be honest with you. They're both 3 3/4 inch figures. The Mission Series, a lot of collectors complain that their articulation's not there. You can only move the arms and legs, but it harkens back to the old school vintage figures for me, and I like the molds on them. I do. I like that series, but you just can't find them in stores anymore. I find Target's probably the best place to find the Black Series, especially the 6-inch figures. I really love the 6-inch figures. I love the quality. They're $20, a little bit more expensive, obviously, but I'm willing to pay that for the quality. But where are the figures, Hasbro? Where are they at? It's really frustrating as a fan of your product not to be able to go into stores and find them. It's near impossible. And the figures I do find, they're all the same figures, the peg warmers. It kind of goes back to when the vintage line came out several years back. You just had the episode 1 figures, and that's all you would find in stores. And the new figures that you would get, you get online and pay a premium for them, basically. And then your exclusives. I love the Kmart exclusives. I love those are great. And I don't seem to have a hard time finding those at Kmart. But when it comes to like Comic-Con exclusives, those things are expensive. I mean, look at the Boba Fett and Haunted Carbonite 6-inch Black Series exclusive. Those things go for crazy amounts of money on eBay. And I understand you're limited to 1 per person or whatever, but still those go crazy. It's nuts. So it's frustrating as a collector because not all of us can make Comic-Con, obviously. And if we like that figure, if we do want to get a figure that we like, we have to pay a premium, pay a third party for it, and pay a markup for those figures, which I don't think is right. And that's nothing new to collecting. I understand that, but it seems like it's just getting out of hand. And even your quality of product is dropped. You look at the Black Series figures, the things are falling off, the bubbles are falling off because the glue or whatever they use, the adhesive to glue on the back, card back, are basically, it's not sticking anymore. So those figures are falling off the pegs, literally. And so it's frustrating because you'll go to a store and you'll see literally the stores that will like staple the bubbles on the card, which obviously ruins the condition of the card. So it is frustrating, Hasbro. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts about this are, because I know I'm not the only one, the only fan out there who's frustrated with Hasbro, because it still seems like, even though I was hopeful that things were going to get better, things aren't getting better, and they're making things worse. And then they're more focusing on the Angry Birds lines and figure, items that are more kid-friendly, which is great, because I understand a large core of their audience are kids, but they can't forget about the collector. And there was a glimmer of hope that they weren't going to forget about us because of the Black Series, but those are super hard to find. Have luck, like I said before, in Target finding some of those figures, but it's like when you do find a new figure, it's like winning the lottery. It's really ridiculous. And I don't want to, one of the reasons why I do collect is because I like the thrill of the hunt. I don't necessarily like to go online to Brian's Toys, even though it's a great site, and I'll purchase stuff on there every once in a while. I don't like to go to sites like Brian Toys or eBay at the first, because I get the thrill of going out and seeking the items in person. I can tell you kind of where I picked up items. It's kind of funny. I can say, oh, I got that at Toys R Us back in 2010 or 2006 or whatever, I can tell you where I got it. It's a thrill of the hunt for me. And unfortunately, that thrill of the hunt is gone thanks to Hasbro. And this is, like I said before, it's not the only, this with Star Wars. Their Marvel Universe line is pretty much non-existent. I think they probably discontinued that pretty much. And the figures that you do see, like the Spider-Man and even Transformers and G.I. Joe, the quality has dropped. And I understand Hasbro's hurting for money, but whoever's in charge of Hasbro right now, really making some boneheaded moves, in my personal opinion. And the only reason I'm making this video and you know, speaking my mind about it is because I am a fan of Hasbro, and I hope that people see this, and I hope it sparks a fire for someone and say, hey, let's change something. You know, I'm in no place to tell Hasbro what to do and not do, but I can tell you from my personal experience, from being a fan for so long, it has been frustrating on my end, and I know I'm not the only one. So please leave a comment, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you guys' feedback as always. You can follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter as well. I'll put links below, and we'll see you guys soon. May the force be with you. Take care.